Next we're going to talk about operating the winch. We're in the engaged position here. That means that the clutch is engaged. We're not going to pull this cable out. Move the handle to the back. We're in free spool position. Now we can pull the cable from the drum in the free spool. Engaged position means that we're ready to actually use the winch out or winch in. Put it back here. I'm going to pull a little bit off. What I want, there we go. Now you can see we're not engaging. The handle doesn't want to engage the gears. What this means is that we're not meshing with the gears so that from the free spool, where they were disengaged, to the engaged position. The simplest thing to do here is just either use the handheld remote or the wireless remote and just operate the winch like so, and that allows you to just let them line up and you can just smoothly put the handle into the engaged position. You don't want to force it. There is a connecting pin on the bottom that can be broken. There's also the threaded pin in the side that can be broken. If you're trying to force the handle, pull it over when the gears are not engaged. Believe me, you're not going to force it over. You're not going to pull it into the gears. Now, having said that, when you're operating the winch, when you're using the winch, try to tie off to the center of the winch, straight face onto the winch as much as possible. If this means using a snatch block to align yourself correctly, then this is what you really want to do. The reason for this is, when you're straight onto the winch, when you're winding your cable on, it will wind on nice and tightly, nice wraps right beside each other. No chance of crossing back over and digging in on loose wraps and fraying the cable, kinking it, that type of thing. So the straighter you are with the winch, the better the wrap is going to be on the drum. Now, if you are building up to one side, this can be a dangerous point. Too many wraps onto the side, what happens is the top layer wants to carry on going towards whichever direction the pull is, and it will bite down at the edge of the drum and the footing. What you'll find is you'll definitely get fraying and kinking as it binds down and it pushes down and it forces the layer beneath it to compress and drag into it. Worst case scenario, you can actually damage the drum, the edge of the drum, and even the footing. As the cable builds up, it still wants to carry on going this way. It's forcing itself into the side. So keep this in mind. Be aware of what your winch is doing at all times. If you're in the vehicle, get out of the vehicle. Look at your line, see how it's being placed on. If you can't get out of the vehicle, have somebody that you trust watch your line, tell them what to look for. You may only be able to winch in 2, 3, 4 feet perhaps before you have to stop, re-spool the line, and then spool in another 3, 4 feet. But if this is what it takes, this is what you need to do, this way here, you're protecting your line, you're protecting your winch. Be aware of what you're doing with the winch at all times. Use your senses when it comes to the winch. Use your sense of smell, sight, hearing. Listen to the winch. The winch will tell you what the load is. Get to know the winch. Use it, practice with it, and you'll know when you've got a heavy load, when you've got a medium load, when you've got a light load, just by the sound that the winch makes. Use your nose. If you're smelling electrical burning, you know that you're overheating on the motor. And again, use your eyes. Look, watch your cable. Make sure you're not binding up on the sides. Make sure that you're wrapping it in even spaces and not building up in the center or the sides, which again is the #1 cause for damaged cable, which then, if it's not taken care of, leads to a failed cable, a broken cable. which can be a dangerous situation.